Hello kids, SFT here. I'd like to tell you a story. When I was growing up, and I was about, I don't know, 14, I had my first taste of what would be considered an illegal substance. That was facilitated from my older brother. It was a bit of marijuana. Not just any marijuana though, it was the skunk variety, not the fucking shit weed that you used to get in the 70s. The hybrid stuff. I quite liked it. By the time I was 17, I was using it regularly. Decided to try some more drugs. I took acid, did my first trip. I took speed. I took quite a bit of speed. Ecstasy. I quite enjoyed ecstasy. I enjoyed acid. I stopped taking speed because it's a bit shit. Well, I say I stopped taking it. I didn't take it as regularly, not habitually like I did with everything else. I was smoking marijuana nearly every day. I was going out and getting hammered at least once a week, taking ecstasy and acid at once. Oh yes, at once. Not just this, that, and the other. Took mushrooms. We used to have tripping parties. Thank you very much. Yes, so trip parties, mushrooms, acid, all sorts of things like that. And I pretty much, this took me through until about I was early 20s, and I decided to stop it all. About 21, 22, certain thing happened in my life and I decided to stop taking these things. I still continue to use marijuana. I still used to go out and get drunk, but I stopped taking pills and acid and mushrooms and all that sort of thing. And I was a good boy for about 4 or 5 years. And then I he had no clue. And then I discovered my weakness, as it were. A friend of mine who had a bit of money to burn, he took a lot of cocaine, and I started taking cocaine with him, and I took a lot of it. I am the sort of person that has quite a high resistant rate to these sort of things. I could smoke an eighth a day easily, a quarter a day of weed, not a problem. 4 pills to at least get me coming up, 2 or 3 acid, you know, really would take a lot. First time I did coke, honestly, didn't really do much for me. Until I took 2 grams all to myself over the course of about an hour and a bit, and it really got me. I know I was one of these people, I'd be in the fucking toilet every half hour doing half a gram, bang. I started smoking it. I started smoking cocaine, putting it in my joints, and then I started crack as well. Did quite a bit of crack, cheaper than coke, better high. And then I was offered something else at a party where I was doing, well, it wasn't really a party, it was just sitting around someone's house getting fucking wasted on chasing the dragon. And then they offered me a little tin pipe, which I assume was crack. It wasn't, it was heroin, and I really liked it. I really liked it. And yeah, I'm just I did these things up until I met my last girlfriend when I was about 28? No, about 27. I think it was about 27. And I'd kind of, at that point, I'd realised that the heroin and the crack was a bit of a bad idea, so I'd knocked them on the head. Luckily, I never injected heroin. I never used needles. I don't like hypodermic needles. I fucking hate them. Just getting myself to go to the dentist to have an injection, oh my fucking god. So yeah, I was very lucky in that respect that I never did anything like that and caught any nasty diseases. And I'm lucky that even though I have a high tolerance for stuff and I can take it in large amounts, I'm also able to kind of just knock it on the head like that. I do get addicted to stuff, but when the time's right, I will just fucking stop doing it. So yeah, I stopped doing all those things, all those naughty things, but I was still on the coke because I was like, well, I need to have something to have fun, so I'll continue with the coke. And I was doing it at work. I was doing it in the morning, and I met this girl and we had fun and stuff. She wasn't into it. She didn't really know I even did it at all. She and it was at times when she kind of started to wig on that I might be on this stuff, and I thought this could affect my relationship with her because I liked her. I stopped. So I knocked the coke on the head, and I was back to just smoking a little bit of weed. Just a little bit of weed every single day for 3 years. When I was with her, until we broke up, she didn't like the fact that I was on the weed. I gave up everything else. I couldn't actually give up the weed. It was what I now realise is a self-medication tool. I did weed because it was the one thing that blocked out all the things in my life that I didn't want to have to think about, which is really bad. You should always deal with your problems, kids. Never hide behind something else. Face them head on, because you're never actually going to meet them and resolve them. But yeah, we broke up, which was really sad, and it fucking destroyed me, to be honest. And for about, I don't know, 4 or so years, I was a recluse. I sat in my flat. I didn't have a job. I just smoked weed all day, every day. That's all I cared about. I'd get behind on my rent because I was buying weed. I didn't have enough food to eat because I was buying weed. I got down to about 10 stone. I was a state. I was in an absolute state. But thankfully, you know, you have friends who will stick by you. And funnily enough, these weren't old friends. These were new friends that I found online. And after I'd become homeless and was on the streets for a couple of weeks, I then moved in with my dad and my stepmother, and that was really, really bad, because for reasons I don't want to go into in this vlog, because this is a heavy enough vlog as it is, I don't get on well with my stepmother or my dad anymore, and I was basically I told them that I was moving out, and they wouldn't allow me back in the house for about a week. So again, I was homeless. I had to stay on friends' sofas and stuff, and then my good mate came down from Thatcham with a van that he paid for, and I managed to convince my stepmother, or my dad actually, that I could get all my stuff. Got all my stuff, moved it all in the space of about an hour and a half, and came to Thatcham, left Essex behind me. And to be honest, I don't really stay in contact with a lot of friends from Essex. There are a few that I do, and I always will do. They're great people, but I really don't see it as my home anymore. I don't see Thatcham as my home either. I kind of feel like a bit nomadic at the moment. But when I moved to Thatcham, when I was moved to Thatcham by my friend, and I lived with him, for over a year before I managed to get myself a job. He supported me, which was fucking amazing. I got myself a job. I got myself the bike license. I got myself a bike. All because I stopped smoking weed. Because when I came up here, I had no contacts for it. Yeah, I knew a few people could get it, but it wasn't that great. I couldn't afford it. all of the money that I was getting was going, you know, to the household, because I couldn't fucking earn. So any little bit I could help with, I would fucking use to contribute. Fucking hell, get the fuck out the way, you fucking cunts. So I managed to achieve things like a very well paid job. I walked straight into with no qualifications because my brain was active and I could fucking conduct a fucking sentence. Unlike when I was smoking weed. Got my bike license, I got my bike. I've made new friends. I do all this shit now. Riding and YouTube is my new drug. And I tell you what, it's a lot better for you. So yeah, stay safe. Thanks for listening.
Woo-hoo.